Talks continue in Detroit between the United Auto Workers and the big three American car companies. Another expansion of nearly the 3-week strike could be coming Friday. All eyes on Ford's two Louisville plants, which so far have not been called to the picket line. Let's bring in WDRB business reporter Chris Otts for an update. So, Chris, we're hearing Ford does have an offer on the table. So where do things stand with that now?
Yeah, the talks are active, ongoing, according to sources on both sides. And Ford came out with publicly with some details from their latest offer just last night. And let's go through some of the highlights. You know, they're talking about pay raises of more than 20%. We don't know how much more. The UAW would like pay raises even higher than that. Talking about restoring cost of living increases, that's a big win for the union. And talking about ending tiers, which is another big goal of the union. However, the companies in the union don't really have consistent definitions as to what that means. For example, the union would like to get back health care for its retirees, which older employees have, but those hired after 2007 do not. And that's not part of the proposal, apparently. So there's still a lot of details that need to be worked out before we may see an actual agreement.
So a lot of people wondering here locally if the Ford plants here are going to impact it. Right. Time will tell. But speaking of impacts, you know, this affects auto workers, but it's also impacting people buying cars right now. So what cars specifically are impacted?
Well, remember, so this is not a nationwide strike. It's a targeted strike of only a handful of plants. So let's take a look at the data on this, actually. You'll see there's a really wide variety of supply depending on the type of model. Now, I know there's a lot going on in this chart here, but basically the top of the chart is cars that are more available based on their pace of sales, and the bottom is those that are harder to find and selling more quickly. So the Ford Ranger, it's a mid-size pickup. It's kind of a step down from the F-150. That has a low supply, and Ford just put out today that in September at their plant in Michigan, which went on strike, they only made 15 of these, whereas they made 5,000 something a year ago. So you can see the impact of the strike. And of course, more cars will be added to this list, obviously, if they do expand on Friday. And we don't know yet if there is an expansion coming.
So hopefully some people aren't in the market for those cars that you pointed out right there.
Well,
hard to come by.
It depends on which ones, right? The ones towards the bottom of the chart, you may have an issue. And of course, as this proceeds, there'll be more vehicles with an issue. And the overall industry, remember, is struggling to get back to normal supply. We had the whole pandemic and the supply challenges, and really things were just getting back on track, and now there's this strike.
Right. All right, Chris, well, we know you will continue following this. Thanks for joining us as always. You can check out Chris's latest story right now on our website and stay right here with WDRB for all the updates on the strike.